This is the famous Star Wars holographic chess table, original Death Star pieces, Darth Vader action figure cases, R2 Mr. T2, made for and screen used in The Empire Strikes Back. I started out as a journalist at the Wall Street Journal, but immediately fell in love with Star Wars in the early 1990s. While still at the Journal, I started writing Star Wars books for Lucasfilm, and then I went to Lucasfilm in '96 for a guaranteed one-year only job, which lasted 15 years and became head of fan relations. I started collecting space toys because I loved fiction and space and fantasy. About 6 months before Star Wars came out, Star Wars became part of that collection, and then it overwhelmed everything else. This is where I spent all of my money at Star Wars Celebration Anaheim in April of 2015. They took Darth Vader action figure cases from 1980, gave them to lots of different artists, and then they went up for bid. As a result of this auction, I contributed $17,000 to Make-A-Wish. I really do not have a general idea of how much this collection is worth. And that's good, and it's also frightening. I mean, if it were to go up at an auction as part of the Rancho Obi-Wan collection, it would certainly be in the millions of dollars. And as for insurance, you buy what you can afford. So each year we try to up the insurance by another $500,000 or $1 million to try to get closer to what we think might be somewhere in the ballpark of the estimate. This is the famous Star Wars holographic chess table that's in the Millennium Falcon. And it was made by a good friend of mine, Philip Wise, down in Texas. And he's programmed it, the lights work, and then all of these creatures were sculpted by a guy named Ian Martin. So there's still 2 more to come, but he's done an amazing job of replicating a very famous scene from Star Wars and one of my favorites. Here are some original Death Star pieces from the original Star Wars and also from Return of the Jedi. So they would, through camera trickery, be able to get what looked like this humongous planet-sized Death Star surface. The first 12 carded action figures cost about $1.97 to $2.97 a piece, and like everybody else, I opened all of mine and decided a few years later I wanted to replace them on the cards. And so I got a toy dealer friend to put them together, and he charged me $145, which was a lot of money, but they were in good condition. And he said, "Oh, by the way, I've got something else you might be interested in," and took this out from under the shelf. And it was a Jawa in a vinyl cape. And I said, "That's ugly. What's that?" And he said, "I don't know, some sort of variation." And I said, "Well, how much do you need for it?" And he said, "I'll have to get $45. And I said, "I just paid you $145 for 12 figures. He said, "Well, you don't have to buy it." And so I walked out, put my key in the door of the car, and the Force talked to me and said, "Get back in there." And so I paid the last cash I had, got it for $45. So today, the more common cloth cape Jawa, in this condition, maybe $200, $300. This, in this condition, maybe $4,000 to $6,000 in an auction. I think part of the magic of Star Wars is it was a film for its time. It came out in an era when politics in the U.S. was really dark. The Vietnam War, the impeachment of Richard Nixon, the movies were dark. And here was this just fun, entertaining movie. You know, the good versus evil, the funny lines, the amazing effects, especially for the time. And that has stayed with so many people. And it's fun for them to pass it down along to their kids and to their kids' kids. And there's one scene in particular that has no words to it, but it's Luke at his homestead, and he's outside and he's looking up at the setting of the twin suns, and that amazing John Williams music called Binary Sunset plays. Da, 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 da. And that brings a chill to my heart because I identified with Luke at the time, his desire to leave home, his desire to see the grander universe, and I had already taken that step. So I really did identify with Luke.